Okay, so here are some examples of what trade stories look like. So this one was essentially one of my clients that produces ID pass applications, and this went into a publication called Aviation Securities International. So again, a lot of the detail could work locally. So some of the bulk of the information, which was about the fact we've launched a new product that's going to be helpful for smaller airports as opposed to the biggest airports in the world, this is a more cost-effective solution. So this certainly works for different kind of outlets. And I think had we have gone local, we'd have focused on the fact that it's a business from that area and what it's planning to do and its ambitions for growth. So essentially the focus would be on a local business done good. Because we'd gone to trade, they didn't need to know about a local business done good because that publication is international. So they just wanted to hear about the fact that, what this product does, what are the benefits, what's different, who can it benefit? And that was what made it an interesting story. So to work on this piece, I really needed to work to get the facts from the actual client and from the business to know, with my journalist hat on, it was what is new, what is different, who's it going to help, how does it change the industry, what market area does it open us up to, and I've talked about kind of the key questions that you need to look at, and the key questions that journalists ask, and we are going to dig deeper and deeper, but I'm really hoping this story gives you an example of what kind of angle a trade publication would look at. Okay, so this is off the back of a round table that I worked with for a client for Insider magazine. So Insider is a really well-known regional business publication. Well, I say it's regional, but online it's obviously available nationally, and it's B2B trade. So it's aimed at other business owners, and they focus on the bigger stories, which is your mergers, your acquisitions, those kind of things where actually it's all about industry moving and shaking. Now, this business wasn't a huge business, so again, I really want to emphasize that this isn't the reserve of the very big conglomerates, the very big brands with very big budgets. It's not. There's room for smaller businesses to get their stories in there if they're pitched correctly. So this was off the back of a roundtable, and it's actually a quote from the client with their sort of with their kind of main points that came out of the roundtable. But the story initially for this was the fact that there had been the partnership, and I think it's what I mentioned in the regional slide. It's the partnership between two organisations, the UK and US firm, that made a huge spread in the Nottingham Post. So it goes to show again, sometimes one story that might work locally, have a think. Is there legs to take it to a trade? Is there a business story in there? Is there a niche story in there about the act for a trade publication? So do have a think and see if you can get more bang for your buck with the stories you pitch. So this is a publication that is aimed at the care sector, and essentially it's great for peer-to-peer readership. So this was for, it's for care homes and it's for care providers. And the beauty of getting in this publication is it's great for sort of recruitment. It shows, your client as an industry leader. It's got numerous benefits. And essentially on the front page, you see a very lovely smiling lady, and she was at the launch of a new charitable foundation, which was launched by the care home who I previously worked with. So again, that's an example of it was a story that worked locally and was pitched locally, but it's an example of how that was also of interest to the care sector publications. So if you've got you run a small nursing home or retirement home, or your business is aimed at older people, the care sector might be something you could look at too. Again, following on, it's the same launch, in fact, of the charitable foundation, and again, it shows you examples of how one story can be used across different publications. So this is ukfundraising.co.uk, and they were interested in the fundraising aspect, the charitable aspect. So while Caring UK focused on the launch itself, the launch party, and how we got residents involved in this great campaign, and we had an mezzo soprano coming along as well, which was great kudos. UK fundraising doesn't want to know about the event itself. They want to know about what the charitable foundation will do, what it signifies, the fact that it's a new foundation, and the fact that it's essentially a new way of fundraising for people. So that was the angle that they were interested in. So this one is about signage. So again, this is a trade publication, and it was aimed at the business, but also specifically the signage press. And again, it was, if you see the insider story, it was the same client, and it was about the UK and US alliance, so the partnership that they'd forged. And if you read the title, it's Sign Manufacturing Powers Align to provide one source global rebranding solution. So this was the element of interest. It was the fact that they've come together, these brands. So the fact that it was making a bigger wave in the industry. It's a one source global solution, and that was what was of interest, and that was the angle for this story. So if you can see, that's a few very different and diverse examples from different industries. So what stories do you have that might work for trade? What stories could you pitch to the trade media and get yourself extra coverage beyond local and beyond national? Think about it.